Welcome to the Warbird Mistress. This is London Calling. Today is Saturday, 20th July, 1940. Good evening, and welcome to a survey of today's activities. The overnight hours were busy with the sounds of meddling mine-laying minions' motors from the Needles to Land's End and in the Bristol Channel, as well as all along the North Sea coast. While the occasional thunderstorm was seen over Cornwall and the West Country, the rest of the country started off overcast with skies over Dover clearing to bright skies. With that change in weather, convoy Bosom was no longer safe from air attack. At 1300 hours, while off Swanage, 9 Stukas from 3 Stuttkampfgeschwader 2 with a heavy escort comprised of 17 Bf-109s of 1 JG-27 swarmed in for the attack. The diving Deutschlanders were surprised by numbers 238 and 152 squadrons with 3 Hurricanes and 3 Spitfires respectively. The convoy escaped untouched this time and 2 Bf-109s were shot down. However, 2 of our boys were also lost, 1 from each squadron involved. 3 hours later, at 1600 hours, a dozen of No. 501 Squadron's Hurricanes were sent to patrol the area and encountered a German patrol of Bf-109s from the first Staffel of JG-27. 1 Hurricane and 1 Hun were lost in the engagement. The day was not yet over for our convoy Bosom buddies as they found themselves under attack by yet another wave of Stukas at 1740 hours. The swooping Saxons of 2 Stuttkampfgeschwader 1 were escorted by both Bf-109s of JG-51 and Bf-110s from 2 Erprobungsgruppe 210, but that didn't stop the Hurricanes and Spitfires from intercepting them. 2 109s and 4 Stukas were downed by the fighters from 32, 65, and 610 squadrons in short order. 2 Hurricanes and 1 Spitfire were lost in the fight, and the remaining Stukas managed to sink the steamship Pulborough and HMS Brazen. Brazen, a B-class destroyer of 1st Destroyer Flotilla who had already suffered damage weeks ago after striking wreckage beneath the surface, was crippled when near misses broke her keel. Losses were high on both sides. Jerry lost 18 pilots and aircrew with 12 aircraft, while our boys counted 9 aircraft lost and 7 of our aircrew, 6 pilots, and 1 wireless operator air gunner. Sgt Cecil Parkinson of Coundon Coventry of the RAFVR was flying Hurricane P-3766 with No. 238 Squadron when he was shot down by a Bf-109. Though he successfully bailed out over the channel and was rescued by HMS Acheron, he will die tomorrow of his injuries. Pilot Officer Edmund John Hilary Sylvester, DFC, of Trowbridge, Wiltshire, a Harrow man in the Auxiliary Air Force serving with 501 Squadron, was already a member of the Caterpillar Club for being shot down 3 times, bailing out safely on each occasion. Sylvester had 1 claimed victory plus a probable DO-17 and 2 shared victories, an HE-111 and a DO-17. He was lost when shot down on Hurricane P-3082, by Lieutenant Zirkenbach of 1 JG-27 over Lyme Bay. Frederick Hyam Posener was born in East London, South Africa, to an English-speaking family and joined the RAF's Empire Flying Training Wing on a short-service commission in 1938. Seriously injured in an accident aboard his Gloucester Gladiator just before Christmas 1939, he recovered only to be shot down today off Swanage by Oberleutnant Hormuth of JG-27 while in Spitfire K9880 with 152 Squadron. The Royal Navy's Fleet Air Arm lost Sub-Lieutenant Geoffrey Gordon Robson Bulmer flying Hurricane N2670 with No. 32 Squadron RAF. He had only gained his wings on 14 March when he was seconded to the RAF on 15 June. Today he was shot down by Oberleutnant Pips Priller. He bailed out over the channel but drowned, his aircraft gliding to Leiden where it crashed. Flying Officer Joseph Frederick John Haworth of Felixstowe, Suffolk, was in search of a reported Heinkel 115 off the Needles when the aircraft turned out to be a Heinkel 59. Hit by defensive fire, he bailed out. Lost and presumed drowned, never to be recovered, he was flying Hurricane P-3964 with No. 43 Squadron. No. 236 Squadron's Blenheim L-1300 was lost at sea with pilot Sergeant Lockton and gunner Sgt Corcoran. Shot down while on escort duty by Hauptmann Edward Neumann of JG-27. Sergeant Eric Howard Lockton of Ashby, Leicestershire, was a bank clerk when he joined the Volunteer Reserve in 1937. He had only just joined 236 on 3rd July. Sgt Henry Corcoran of Higher Openshaw, Manchester, joined the RAF in 1935 and remustered when the war broke out. Neither body will be recovered. Hurricane P-2917 of No. 263 Squadron was being piloted by Pilot Officer Alan Richard Downer, Royal Air Force Volunteer Reserve of Muswell Hill. Downer had been assigned to No. 263 Squadron and was severely injured when making a forced landing 1.5 miles south-southwest of Tranent, East Lothian. His injuries are severe and will cost him his life tomorrow in an Edinburgh ward. Thank you for tuning in to the Warbird Mistress. This is London Calling, a day-by-day detail of the Battle of Britain, and I hope that you subscribe, watch the playlist for new editions, and do check out other offerings on this channel. Subscriptions through Patreon and YouTube are more than welcome to keep this channel going. Thank you and take care.